Hi guys and welcome back to Thrustzone.com. I'm Mohit Soni and this is the Bajaj Dominar 2022. This is the Bajaj Dominar 2021 and we've driven the Bajaj Dominar here for a very extended period of time because what the idea here is not simply reviewing the motorcycle which we've done it in the past, but what we want to tell you that with these touring accessories how it is like to ride. This is something of a very special motorcycle. We here at Thrustzone think that the Dominar is something truly unique, something that is revolutionary in the way, and it suits the needs of everyday Indian riders. And what we've done is we've taken the bike from Pune, got it back to Bombay, and then we decided to head towards Gujarat, where we found a place called Umar, and it was a very beautiful place. It was a very quaint place, and you can see the pictures and the video footage that we are putting in right now. And what we realized is that this motorcycle, again with these touring accessories, is a very special motorcycle because the overall comfort which the bike had has been improved. Of course, with my height, the windscreen does not fit right. I still do get a lot of buffeting. I am 5'11", and that's the reason why the air is still causing the buffeting effect. But the USB charger and the hand guards and the backrest and everything just helped us ride. And we've already loved the ergonomics of the motorcycle because it fits like a glove to most riders, and heavy riders like me also feel just right on this motorcycle. And that's the special part of the Dominar because there's no motorcycle which offers something like this, which is a very fast spinning sporty engine with the ergonomics of a cruiser, and which feels rock solid at any given speed, because we were cruising between 110 and 130 with bare minimum vibrations on offer. And this is something very unique in the segment. But this particular test bike here was showing a bit of vibrations is because Bajaj gave us a bike which is barely has 800 kilometers on the odo. When we picked it up, it now has 1600 kilometers. And this is something because Bajaj has given us a motorcycle which has been let's say tested rather well, and it's running on mineral oil, and that's the reason why there were a lot of vibrations on this motorcycle. But on the other hand, this is our colleague Omkar's BS6, technically a brand new motorcycle as well. This is running on semi-synthetic motorcycle, so it's running on semi-synthetic oil, and what it shows that there's a world of a difference in the way refinement, noise, vibration, harshness is on offer, because this BS6, this bike that belongs to our colleague Omkar, is something very different than the bike that we are riding here, because there are absolutely no vibrations on that bike, but here there are some vibrations on that bike. And that shows how much of a change engine oil can make. So unwarranted criticism on the vibration part is from our friends in the media and influencers will say, but you have to realize that there is more to everything, and a simple engine oil change by Bajaj also would have helped in making impressions on our media friends better, and which includes me as well, because I am blown away with the refinement that is on offer with the Bajaj Dominar BS6 here. And while this touring kit with the touring experience was fantastic, I wish it was better, because this bike has been giving our Omkar, our guy, almost 20 to 29 kilometers to the liter, while I was on one of the best highways which is around Bombay, and I was cruising between 100 and 120 kilometers an hour, and my mileage did not go above 25 kilometers per liter. So as you can see, one engine oil can make a world of a difference, and I request Bajaj to make sure that they do provide us with a motorcycle next time which is much better in the way it is behaved, because this is something that has been going on for quite some time, and this garners criticism which is not really necessary. The second and most important part of the Dominar is what we take for granted is the fact this is the riding position of this motorcycle. It's a very comfortable motorcycle for every size of rider, every height rider, and this makes it a very appealing motorcycle to a large set of audience. This is something we are taking for granted because you don't get something like this. Yes, of course, the weight is higher by 5 kilos and the Dominar was already heavy, but weight is something that you can get over from time to time. And if you think the other aspect that is holding you out is the handlebar, I'm pretty sure if you up the preload a bit, you will find the motorcycle very light on its feet, and that's what we did with this motorcycle, and we found a world of a difference. Of course, I'm a heavy rider, so most motorcycles feel slightly soft to me, but when we upped the preload and got a lighter rider on board and back at Bombay, and they said there is a big amount of difference in how they feel. So the factory setting also needs to be in tune with the normal riders. I think it usually is for a rider who's around 5'7", 5'8", and weighs around 75, 80 kgs. But I think those things also need to be changed. It needs to configure slightly more weight, slightly less weight, and it needs to be told to the customer at the dealer end that you should up your preload, which most Dominar riders do. Because as far as we know, ever since the Dominar has come in, there has been a lot of talk, and since it's mostly a touring bike, and that's why it finally gets the touring kit, is that it requires a certain set of skills that you need to live with this bike. And that's the weight, and that's the handle, that's the weight taken care of, that's the handle power, usage taken care of. The handlebar becomes better when you up the preload. It's not a myth, it actually works. And the other part is, so what have we learned from our experience here? We've learned that the Bajaj Dominar in the 2022 version continues to be very impressive. The touring edition is fantastic. Us doing almost 800 kilometers on it just went by. It's been one of the most comfortable motorcycles that I've ever ridden. Almost from all the way from Pune to halfway to Gujarat and back to Pune. And of course, it's been done over the last 3 days. But I have never been, this happy to jump on a motorcycle in 3 days back to back. There's been no pain whatsoever, and that's what makes the Dominar special. It is a very good touring motorcycle. Of course, the test ride bike here, like I told you, has some vibrations because Bajaj isn't taking care of it quite well. But this Dominar VS6 here also is the same motorcycle without the accessories, but this is running on synthetic oil, and it is an absolute gem. This is proper investigative journalism for you guys here. We've done that. We've told you the unwarranted criticism for the vibrations, for the handlebar weight, and everything else is just not founded. And the Dominar continues to be a very impressive motorcycle. You have to believe us and believe in this investigative journalism report right here. We've gone through a lot to tell you about this, and we don't want you to believe other reports which are based on very quick assumptions of the motorcycle. Of course, the BS4 to BS6 change did take away a certain amount of fuel efficiency from the motorcycle. From 32, 33, it has come down to 29. But on the highway, it's still good enough. Of course, we wished for more fuel efficiency. But what we also wish for is that the comparisons between motorcycles such as Royal Enfield and Java is also unwarranted, because those motorcycles are completely different. You cannot compare a Classic or a Meteor to the Dominar 400. Those are completely different motorcycles. These motorcycles have fast spinning engines. This particular Dominar has very high refinement manners. This Dominar has a fast spinning sporty engine that we enthusiasts love. We do not want a laid back engine for our touring machines. That's what Bajaj has given us, because that's what we needed. We don't want laid back engines. Of course, that's a different category that also has rider base, and we also appreciate it. But somebody who appreciates the fast spinning sporty engines with the cruiser format, you don't get that anymore. There is of course the Avenger, which is also doing really well even now after the basics update with bare minimum changes to it, because that formula works. This formula is working in the 400cc space, that works in the 200cc space. You cannot compare it to a Java or a Royal Enfield. Of course, the Java can come close to this because it feels a bit more sportier, but that only 9 people know about in the media fraternity. Sadly, we have only quick impressions of that motorcycle till date, and we don't know how that turns out. But those 9 people tell me that it is a motorcycle that comes quite close to being sporty and retro at the same time. This motorcycle here feels very modern, very high on touring. It's very high on refinement. Trust us, we've just given you the proof here after riding it for almost 800 plus kilometers, and that's what the Dominar is all about. Yes, the weight might be higher, but that helps you in stability. It's done the Siberian Odyssey, what else do you want of a motorcycle, which has done that so seamlessly. And we've all known that Odyssey went very smoothly and there was no problems whatsoever with the bike. So that shows that weight also plays an advantage in getting you the touring ride. We're not always side to side transitioning in ghats, and we don't need quick steering. And what we need is stability. We need ride quality. The ride quality is quite good on this motorcycle. You can adjust it to your needs. It is on the stiffer side, but then again, that's what gives you that additional sportiness apart from the engine, which makes the Dominar 400 a very unique motorcycle. The price is slightly high, but I think it's still good value for money. The weight is high, but I told you it plays this part really well. And we already told you in our investigative journalism report here that you cannot base your first thoughts on a test ride motorcycle which is not in a proper condition. And that's how we would like to sum up the Dominar 400. We obviously can talk really more about it, for a really long time. But I think let's try and keep this video as informative as possible. If you still have some comments, if you still have some thoughts, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer it. If you liked our video, if you liked what we did or like the video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, talk to us there, and we'll be happy to talk about more about the Dominar 400 and any other aspects that you like to talk to us. And I'll see you next time in the next video. Until then, goodbye.